Special shout out to our sponsor of today's episode of Russ Reals Live, Joseph Gonzalez and In the Game. For more information on Joseph Gonzalez and In the Game, go to joseph@inthegamegroup.com or look him up on LinkedIn. Ta-da! Welcome to Russ Reals Live this Thursday afternoon at 4 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. I don't know what time it is where you are, but I'm sure that you're having a good time because I have faith that you are living a good life. And if you're not, I'm glad you tuned in today because we are going to have an amazing discussion about how you normalize success in your life. You know, people have asked me, can you do that? Yes, you can. You can live the life you choose. I heard about that before. In fact, I think there's a good book called Befuddled, Live the Life You Choose that if you haven't picked up yet from Amazon or my website at russedge.com, you should, to help you be encouraged and inspired. You know, that is what I love to do. I love this medium of live streaming and I love the opportunity to be able to inspire and encourage you. So I want to encourage you today, make sure to go to russedge.com if we are not connected, because I want to connect with you and I want to inspire you directly and learn more about you. So if you go to russedge.com, you can connect with me any way you want through your social media, through email, you can call me, or you can even schedule time directly on my calendar and we can Zoom, and that would be outstanding. So the other thing I want to tell you too is I would love for you to share this out right now as you're watching, whether you're watching live or on replay. Hit the share button, share this baby out, and let people know I've got amazing people on today. I've got D. Scott Smith, I've got Brian Schulman, I've got Nancy Barrows, I've got Fred, the man who is one of the most inspiring people that I know on today as well. So we are super excited about everybody coming on today, but I want to remind you that it would be great if you share and let everybody else know. That would be outstanding. And love for you to subscribe to my YouTube page. The easiest way to do that is to go to russreals.live. Russreals.live will take you directly to my YouTube page. You can hit subscribe and you can get all the past content of my live streams, not just this one, but Marketing with Russ as well. And you can also get notices about upcoming live streams. So love to have you do that. So I think that is about all I'm going to do for today. You know, I want to start off with my good friend, Joseph Gonzalez, who is our sponsor today. We're going to start the show off with him. And then I'm going to bring in D. Scott, who's going to help me co-host today. But I want to give a little time here first to Joseph, who's amazing, who was going to be live with us today, but couldn't. So I really want you to hear from him as we get started. So I'm just going to get rolling with that today. Here we go. Well, I'm here today at this moment with my good friend, Joseph Gonzalez, who is amazing and has such a great perspective on life. He's always bringing the boom and gotta love that. So listen, Joseph, so good to have you here today.
Hey, Russ, you know, for me, it's always an honor. You know how thrilled I am every time you provide me with the opportunity just to be on your show, just to be part. Like I tell everybody, yeah, we're one huge community. A tribe, but to me, you're more like a family member already. We go back and forth so much. We text. You give me the honor of putting me on your show, which keeps me grounded based on your performance, the excellence. You know, I'm just trying to keep up with you. But anyways, I really appreciate everything you do, and you're fantastic.
Well, thank you, and I really super appreciate you too. And you know, today we're talking about the topic of normalizing success. And some people say to me, how do you do that? Well, you know, I have my perspective on that, but today I want to hear your perspective on how do you normalize success in your life?
You know, there's many ways we can discuss how most folks or how I would normalize success. To me, there's many things that I prioritize in my life that keep me basically, I use the word within harmony within myself and with everyone that I'm around. And to me, that's an important aspect of how I would categorize success. It's not only about financial success, because to me, finances are great, but that doesn't mean that I've been successful in my life. What leads me to be a person of success, or what I like to think of is when I'm no longer around, what type of a legacy of success did I leave for everyone that even mentions the word Joseph Gonzalez or the boom guy. So for me, it's all about my family. It's all about how I serve my community. It's all about how I give to everybody else and how I share my story, my journey, my life's moments, my wins, my losses, my frustrations, my attitude of gratitude. So for me, it's a compilation of anything and everything, like everybody talks about the mind, body, and soul. For me, it's a complete package of my overall mental approach to life, how I process the information on a daily basis as being tossed at me, and what I choose to maintain in and what I choose to discard and let go, which keeps me within my humble, harmony filled life with my family, with my beautiful friends, my loved ones, etc. So for me, there's many more parts in just being a what I would call a normal lifestyle, or just be a really good, successful individual. And for me, it's all about heart, passion, and compassion to serve.
Yeah, and you are definitely successful. And a lot of that too in your life, we didn't really talk about this up front, but I love it that you are not just a coach and a consultant, but you're a high energy coach and consultant, high energy speaker. You're bringing the boom, you're being a positive impact creator. I love all that. And, I think when you're that way, what you're giving out is creating a successful life, and you are so consistent in all you do. I really believe that consistency of bringing that day after day makes you successful.
Yeah, Russ, if you analyze the world today, it's gone through so many changes. So many people, we all use the term, they're suffering in silence. So when I come in, when I wake up first thing in the morning, I'm already full of energy. I'm ready to go. So wherever I go, whoever I run into, fantastic morning. It's a beautiful day. We're living the dream. Let's go. Let's get up, get going, and get it done. So to me, it's a matter of how can I perform, bring my real Joe to help everybody out, to motivate them, to lift them, let them know that whatever they might be going through, it's only temporary. To get the mindset in the place where they want it to be in order to move forward in life. Because we know life changes in a second. You know that. I know that.
Yep.
But you know what? Every exchange that I have with any and all individuals that I come in contact with, it's going to be one thing. I'm going to bring the boom. I'm going to bring it, and I'm going to motivate them to be the best version of themselves every single day. Because to me, I will let them down if I don't provide them with an out or a little positive thought every time I come in contact with them.
Yeah, and that is so true. And that is why success is normal to you. And I'm going to give you one example as we wrap this up today. In sports, you have teams who are, the success of winning is not in their DNA. It's not normal to them. And so they don't have a winning culture and they don't win. But you change that culture and you change that mindset and you make it normalized, and that success is expected. That's when you're successful.
And you brought up a great point. Consistency is key. It's action and execution. Massive action needs to be taken every day to turn your life around. And you know what? It becomes a daily habit of success, and you become a successful person within yourself, so you can bring about success for others. And that to me is a given.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Hey, Joseph, thank you as always. You're amazing. And we will talk to you soon. Thanks for being on today.
Boom. Have a fantastic night. Love you guys.
See ya.
There we go.
Sorry, I'm not ignoring you. I know the topic is about normalizing your success. I was just reading The Answer Key.
Woo! There you go.
There we go. Yeah.
Scott, it's so great to have you here today. I just wanted to bring you right in as we keep rolling along. Besides being my amazing friend, you're doing incredible things, and you have normalized success in your life through all the stuff you're doing. You're doing lots of things with books, speaking of books, too, which is amazing.
Yeah, it's been an honor and to be able to publish. And right now I've got one that's coming out, co-written with Veronica Jeans, the Shopify Queen. And this book is all about helping business owners overcome that fight, flight, or freeze impulse when crisis happens in our business, big and small. So that's going to be a lot of fun. But I was just really inspired by Joseph there talking about focusing on the family. And when people ask me, you know, what's that why? What is it that drives you? What's your mission? What's your personal mission? And it's the same thing. It's like, all I want to do is take care of my family. That's all there is to it.
Yeah, no, that's exactly it. You know, I think that, basically everybody really deep down wants to be able to have a good life and to be able to affect people in a positive way. Sometimes people just don't know how to do that, and they don't know how to normalize it. You know, you and I, graduates, 1987, Oregon State University. And let's talk about Oregon State University, because when we were at school, and then many years to follow, success in football was not normal, and they didn't expect to win, and so they lost most of the time. So, but it's interesting because now we had a couple little seasons where we did better back in the past, and now we have a coach who played on one of those winning programs, who is starting to normalize success in their program. And the reason I think of that with sports, because sports is kind of a little microcosm of life. And it's really kind of amazing how you can see that change. You can see that change. And, while I still have a minute, I'm going to start bringing in our guests, and then I'm going to let you take over.
Yeah, let's do it.
Because I just want to get the ball rolling. And one person, we normally always bring ladies first in, and I'm not going to change that. Nancy Barrows is ready to roll. She has normalized success in her life. Here she is. Hello, Nancy.
Hello, everyone, and thank you, of course, for having me. It's always a privilege and a pleasure, and I love this topic. Normalizing success. How do we do that? What does it mean? Well, first of all, I know people are talking about family and legacy, and I want to tell you, as a person who does not have children and is not married, that is one wonderful way to normalize success, but you don't have to, the picture doesn't have to look that way. So I want to remind people who are like me out there that you can still be fully successful and not have that piece be your legacy. So normalizing it, to me, we make it like breathing, right? Breathing is normal. We do it every day without thinking. And how do we do that? We know our worth. We know our value. We celebrate one another. We celebrate success. We expect to be successful. We prepare for the best instead of the worst. We know it is a part of life, and we embrace it. Right? It's not oh gosh, I'm so surprised that this is happening. It's like, no, of course I always knew this was going to happen. It's what I'm capable of. It's what I'm worthy of. It's what I've been set out and working toward doing. So success is part of, as important as breathing and your heart beating, right? It's just part of what we do as humans. And it's not just in business, like it was said, it's in all aspects of our lives. We're successful, and we celebrate those successes.
Yeah, for sure. And, I am a huge fan of people turning their lives into great successes, like Mr. Brian Schulman, who's jumping in, who is your co-host on What's Good Wednesday and Shout Out Saturday. Hey, Brian.
Hey, guys. Good to be with everybody. That was a mic drop moment. Nancy, Debra, well done.
Well, thank you.
Well, I wanted to bring you in, and Fred's going to be coming in shortly, but I wanted to just tell you guys how much I appreciate all of you and how amazing and what you have done actually to encourage me in all that I'm doing, how I look up to all that you're doing, and I've learned so much from what you do. So I want to tell you how much I appreciate that. And I, with that, have got to take a family moment, and we talk about self-care, how important that is. And I am going to duck out of my own show. I'll be completely transparent and vulnerable at the moment. And I'm going to let my good friend D. Scott Smith take over. And if he has any troubles, he's got all of you veterans in. But before I do that, I'm going to bring Fred in the room so I can say, hey to Fred.
There
in there. Woohoo.
You said you were going to bring me in shortly, and I came in just as tall as I've ever been.
Oh, I love you, Fred. Hey, guys, thanks so much. We'll see you soon.
Thank you.
We wish you well.
Time. Yes.
Enjoy.
Travel safely.
Take care. Have a safe trip.
So, normalizing success, Brian, tell us, what does it mean?
Yeah, I gotta say, I loved when I loved Joseph's energy, and his response is very well in line with where I sit too. My why is to inspire one person a day, and I show up every day to do that and positively impact somebody else's life. And a lot of times you don't know whether or not you do that, but you always reach someone, whether you hear from them or not.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I agree with so many things both Nancy and Joseph shared. Success is not about monetary value. It's about impact. And, we're all humans with a heartbeat, and we all have the ability to impact somebody's life. And we talk about normalizing success. I think it's the one thing that can keep all of our feet on the ground, because the other things can take us to places where we forget that, again, we're all humans with a heartbeat. And being able to affect somebody's life and impact somebody's life can truly help everyone normalize success.
Yeah, I love that. It's just to quote Spider-Man for a moment, right? With great power comes a great responsibility. And I remember working with an orphanage over in Romania, and a lot of the kids there, we call the Americans coming over mom and dad, which I thought, well, that's a cheat, because we're not there to adopt them. We're just there to help. And so I worked to study the words for friend and brother and sister, because that's what I wanted to come. Because I said, look, there's nothing special about being an American. The only thing is we have a lot of resources, which means we have a lot of responsibility. Fred, you have lived more years than I have. You have seen more things than I have, and you've worked with some great, remarkable people. Tell us your perspective here. Normalizing.
Okay, normalizing. Yeah, Nancy, you said something that was really important to me. You said that it's something that's inside of us, each and every one of us, that we expect to be successful. We expect to go out and have, some sense of success. I remember many years ago when I was a musician, we were playing in all kinds of good clubs, bad clubs. There's a couple of clubs that are real small dives. And you go in there like on a Wednesday night, is a dead night, and there's one person sitting in the back. One. And you're spending, the whole night trying to play music and stuff. But what I learned then is that's the guy that we're here for tonight, every night. If it's one person out there, when I do some of my seminars at a lot of these assisted living homes, maybe 2 people, 5 people, 20 people, 50 people show up. But I always tell them, you're the people, you're the 2 that I'm supposed to be sharing my health with an attitude, my success with an attitude. That's something that you said, Nancy, it's inside of me. I can't help it. It's something that I expect no matter where I go. I went shopping today. I'm over at Walmart and I'm going through there and I'm talking to these people and they're kind of sour-faced here, but busy. I start talking to them and there's this lady in a wheelchair and I told her there'll be no racing up and down the aisles. And she laughed and she put a smile on her face. I said, don't pop any wheelies. Something inside of me says, I can make that person get out of this mood, whatever they're in. And that's when you normalize your success. That's when you're at wherever you go, whatever you're doing, whether you're presenting somewhere or you're just out shopping. That's who you are. That's normalizing your success to me. That's whatever I do. That's who I am. And that's a blessing to me. And it happens to become a blessing to everybody else.
Yeah, that one person at the back, the one person, the at least one person that Brian's going to inspire, motivate each day. It's so important. I had a friend that he had to go pick somebody up at the Sacramento bus station at like 2:00 in the morning.
Wow. And
I'll tell you, any big city bus station in the middle of the night is a crazy place to go.
It is.
And his thought was, this is the closest to hell that I'll ever be. And then he said, for some of these people, though, this is the closest to heaven that they're ever going to be. Nancy, let's talk about that one person.
Yeah, I mean, for me, my goal is to make one person feel seen, heard, loved, and valued. We tend to think about our successes as the big things. And when we focus in on the everyday successes and we are grateful for all of that, it really gives us perspective, like you're saying. First of all, I'm learning a ton just from everybody here. Thank you. But like you said, it is that perspective of, well, this is my worst nightmare. This is someone's reality, and maybe it is their best day. And so for me, that's why I don't like that internal report card that compares us to other people. And what success is defined by is how we look compared to someone else, or how they did it, or how many likes they're getting, and how many shows they're booking on, or who gets who gets noticed and said hello to and asked out first at the bar. It's not about those places where somebody else has been successful and thinking that it undermines or limits our ability to be successful. It's about abundance, and it's about there being success for each and every one of us, and for us all to have that opportunity. Wow. And when it really happens is when we can get grateful and celebrate other people's success with true, genuine excitement for them, knowing that there's no reason that what that person has achieved will keep me from achieving. Mm-hmm. Instead, use them as inspiration. We're all human. The Cinderella story belongs to all of us. Each and every one of us has our own Cinderella story, but hearing other people's is inspiring. And being able to support and celebrate people and their successes is nourishing. And so if you want to normalize success, live in it every day. Think about those small things, have gratitude, and celebrate other people. It's huge. It makes such a difference in how you feel and how you view what your value, worth, and what you're capable of, and what you are achieving.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you have that mindset of scarcity or abundance, with scarcity, there's winners and losers. Mm-hmm. But with abundance, there's winners and winners. And speaking of Cinderella, Mr. Brian.
No. Sorry, I left my dress at home.
This whole life.
I just got my shoe.
Well, if we live a life of comparison, we're going to lose. There is absolutely no way you can win.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so true. It's so true. And Nancy I'm going to keep dropping the mic over here because she keeps dropping mics. And it's interesting, right? I think Nancy shared something I think is so important, and I think it has a lot to do with normalizing success, which is, it's easy for us to compare ourselves to one another, right? And Scott, you talk about scarcity versus abundance, and quite honestly, I hear all the accolades when it comes to me, and I'm like, wow, I'd love to meet that person because I don't believe that's me. I don't hear those things and go, wow, 7-time #1 best-selling author and all of these things. Like it doesn't make sense to me, because to me, we're all human with a heartbeat. We're all on the same plane, and rising tides lift all. And, living life in an abundance mentality, I think is something that it's so important.
And I want to ask you, and I'm going to ask Fred the same question. What about imposter syndrome?
Ugh, I have it all the time. I have it every day. Like literally, I have it every day. Like I could tell you all the things that I'm known for, and all the 3-time top 50 most impactful people of LinkedIn top voice, 7-time best-selling author, 2 global award-winning live shows. Just all of these things, right? And I have imposter syndrome every day. Mm-hmm. And you know why? It's because we look at our peers and go, I'm not doing that. I could be doing that better. Oh man, I wish it's so easy to do. And it's funny because I've seen a lot of posts recently on LinkedIn actually talking just about that. People that have actually disappeared for a while, and they came back and they're like, I had this voice and this rhetoric in my head And it was that I'm not good enough. I'm not as good as. I'm comparing myself to this person and that person. And, again, it's a very normal thing as a creator or anything, life and business. It's so easy to compare ourselves to others, no matter where you feel your success is and what you determine as success. Mm-hmm. And I think, again, what it all comes back to is normalizing that and going, we are so much farther ahead of ourselves than we truly understand. And at the end of the day, it's not comparing yourself to anybody else. It's
Mm-hmm.
you.
Yeah.
It's this is where I was and this is where I am. And, and giving yourself grace and realizing that we all travel at different speeds. We're just at different points in time. And to just keep yourself rooted and I will say try and remember, because it is not easy to do. Imposter syndrome is a real thing, no matter where you are in life and business.
I used to coach junior high track for 7 seasons. And the thing I love about track is that we keep account of your personal best.
That's it.
Right. And this is like, you didn't win the race, but you did better than you did before. And I wish we had more things like that were easily tracked to say, wow, I didn't have as many people or as many comments as Shout Out Saturday, but I had more than I had last time, or the comments were much more impactful. And to me, that's where we get success.
And I think, Scott, the other thing too is the fact that, you may have a show and you don't see anyone showing up in the comments. Mm-hmm. That doesn't mean you haven't impacted somebody's life. That doesn't mean someone hasn't heard your message and seen the show. It's an incredible thing. Mm-hmm. And I say this because it happens all the time. I'm reflecting on all this now because I'm literally in the next 48 hours about to celebrate 5 years on LinkedIn Video. And looking back at all of those memories and those moments that I'll be sharing, it's really emotional.
We are with you, Brian. Everyone is celebrating right now, by the way. Yeah.
Well,
we're celebrating with you.
Because we don't know the impact that we have on people, and we show up and we show up and we show up and we show up. And again, you have that rhetoric in your head. And, like I said, for me, it's, part of coming back to that imposter syndrome is going, okay, remember your why. Like your why is to positively impact and inspire one person a day. And whether you see them in the comments or you hear from someone, you have to remember that by showing up and by sharing and by being you in whatever form or fashion that is, like this or whatever it is, as Nancy Debra would say, showing up and radiating real, your voice, your message, it's hitting somebody when they need to hear it in that moment, when they've watched it, when they've seen it, when they've read it, whatever it is. Wow. So I say that from experience because then you also do hear from people in the back end, in a text, in a DM, whatever it may be, and you realize you saved somebody's life. I don't normally talk about these kind of things, but like these things happen. Mm-hmm. And as much as just today, I heard that message from someone who was in a dark place and they said, thank you. I needed that today.
That's beautiful. Fred, you are one of the most remarkable people to spend time with. And you work directly with Zig Ziglar. And many of us look back and we go, wow, if only I could be like Zig. And yet here you are living, you are not Zig, and yet you have got this amazing, remarkable life. You, like Brian and Nancy, are impacting individuals every day. And we were talking about imposter syndrome. Give us your thoughts here.
Yeah, just like you said, even when I was a little kid, I always wanted to be on stage. I don't know why. I wanted to be a musician. And through the years, like I said, playing in clubs and stuff like that, on the good nights, what we were doing was making happiness. And when that feedback comes back to you, just like you said, Brian, all of a sudden it energizes you. It gives you this feeling. And yet at that same time, being just a musician in a small town, you look and say, oh, look, the Beatles are coming out. Oh, look, there's Elvis. Oh, look, there's Buddy Holly. Oh, I wish I could be like that. And then I got into a little different arena, and I saw like Zig Ziglar for the first time on stage a long, long time ago. Oh, I wish I could. Wow. And I went to a bunch of his all-day seminars and training sessions. And then luckily enough, several years ago, I got to hook up with the Ziegler family. And everybody out there is listening to that, every Monday morning from 7:30 to 8, he still has his Monday morning devotional, and everybody is invited. It's live. It's virtual. And if you want to, you send me an email. I'll have Lori Magers, who was his assistant for 30 some odd years. Now she's Tom Ziegler's assistant, and she'll send you an invite to be there. And these people are amazing. And like you were saying, Brian, when people like Tom Ziegler will write a foreword for my book, you think, I can't believe that they would. I'm honored, and it touches me because that allows me to go out and touch other people. It's like Nancy, you're saying, like tossing that pebble in the middle of the pond. You don't know who you're going to touch. You're going to touch somebody that I don't know, but I've gotten some feedback back from people I never met that said, I really needed that today. And that's where, that impossible, that syndrome comes in, where you think, am I really doing that? Is that me? And the blessings that come back to you, it just makes you want to do it more. And like we all have, we each bring a different set of tools to the table for people to use. And that just energizes me, because everybody I've met, Nancy, it's the first time I really met you on live, and Brian, you too. But everybody I meet through LinkedIn, or everybody I link up with, they all have something to share that gives back to me, that I find. I write notes down. I think, oh gosh, this is so-and-so, such and such. You, Nancy, you were always talking about personal and private, the difference between those two things. And it's fantastic. The feedback you get, you can include in your own personality and start sharing it with other people. And then again, when you get that feedback back, you said, did I really do that? Wow. It's amazing how we've all grown. I know, Scott, you've touched so many people with your books, and this new one you've got coming out. That's got to be fantastic. That's going to help a lot of people. I've gotten feedback on my leadership with an attitude book. I know it's backwards, but I love it.
No. It's looking good.
And I got to put a plug in. The Kindle version, I just put it on sale for $2.99. So if you're doing virtual stuff, get it. It's fantastic.
You got to do that. You got to do that. Well, sadly enough, we're running time here. And so we're going to kind of let everyone have their last bit. But Nancy, I really want to let you share something about what it means to be a friend. Because one of the hardest things for us to do, and I have seen it now in what Brian has said, what Fred has just said, and I know this from my personal experience, when we ourselves need help, like somebody to write a foreword for our book or bring some meals or something, we're hesitant. We don't want to let people help. And yet that really is being not a good friend. Yeah. So could you talk about that? And then we'll let you start to wind it down and tell people how to get a hold of you.
Absolutely. And, how to be a good friend, to me, it's almost defined by who steps forward when everybody else steps back, right? In those hard moments, those ugly moments, as I like to call them, the snotty, ugly, unsexy moments, who's there? And our wanting or unwillingness to ask help, I think, first of all, if you're going to have friends, 100% honest, real, and authentic. You can't have friends if you're not being 100% real and authentic. We can only get so deep with our friendships, right? And the asking for help, it's really funny because so many people I know are similarly hearted to me, and we're givers, and we love how it feels and energizes and nourishes us when we have the opportunity to lend a hand, shine the spotlight on someone. And if we don't stop and think that without asking for help, we're denying someone else that amazing feeling, that opportunity for growth and nourishment, it really, if you flip the script on it, asking for help is creating opportunities for other people to step into the abundance, to step into the role of, hey, I'm here. Hey, I'm helping. I feel purposeful. I feel like I can reciprocate. I feel like I am a good friend to you because I can give back. And I think that's important for each and every one of us. We all want to feel like we're needed, and we can't necessarily feel needed and wanted if we don't let other people show up for us.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
And it's getting comfortable with being human. We're all human. We're all out there living life. We all know that it's hard, and we all know that there are days, and we all know that we don't do it alone. We don't find success in this journey if we try to do it alone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Nancy, how do people get a hold of you?
Well, you can find me here on LinkedIn, or I've got a fun little QR code if I could get it to focus.
Focus in.
Aha.
Grab your phones. We're going to give people a moment. Get your phone.
You can go to the website, Voice Your Vibe, or grab the phone, scan that, and that's the link tree. You'll find everything there. Then please, I encourage people always to connect with me. Send me a note. Let me know how you came to be interested and connected with me. I love meeting new people. I love connecting people with other people, and I love gathering people. And there's nothing more satisfying to me than to know that I have impacted someone.
Mm-hmm.
The Cinderella story of being one of the top 50 most impactful people, it wasn't about how many numbers, how many connections, how many people I had following me. It was about the number of people I had impacted by showing up and being me and radiating real.
Mm-hmm.
It's a powerful, powerful piece. So find me on LinkedIn. Find me. You can set up a 15-minute consultation for Chick with the Tool Belt. I love that you said, Fred, that we have all these tools, because yes, I am the Chick with the Tool Belt. Go to calendly.com/Nancy Barrows. And please, you don't even have to think you need me for anything. Let's just have a conversation. Let's be human together.
I love it. I love it. I often say, I don't fear death, but I fear irrelevance.
We all have that. As humans, we crave. We crave passion, purpose, connection. And to think that as one person, how many people can I give that to in a lifetime? How many people can I give that gift to? And in turn, how many people are out there offering the same gift to me?
Beautiful.
It's profound when you really think about impact. One connected to one person, there's your impact.
I tell you, life is just a marvelous thing to experience with friends. And I had to pause for a moment. Man, there was champagne corks popping all around the world. There's a big celebration coming up.
There it is.
Congratulations, Brian.
Oh, thank you. I so appreciate that. 5 years on LinkedIn video, and I'm celebrating almost 2 decades every day on LinkedIn, and it's been the most life-changing journey for me. I'll leave you with this quote, and I think he's actually in the comments right now. This is after reading the third book published, and he said, the light bulb went off on the first page. Auto-suggestion could sell people on themselves. This is exactly what you've done with me by showing up. You've taken years of me hearing my foster dad saying, you're nothing but a piece of, and you know what I'm going to say, and help me wipe that. You've brought an entire tribe of people with you. Words can't begin to express my gratitude and how much respect I have for you. That was Daniel Hall. And again,
wow,
you
fantastic.
never know the impact that you're having on somebody's life by showing up and being you. So I'll leave you with this. Everybody out there, just know that you have a voice and you have a story and that you matter and that your voice and story can positively affect, impact, and inspire another human being's life by showing up and being you.
Beautiful. Brian, how do people get a hold of you?
Yeah, well, remember that QR code Nancy just held up a second ago? Well, I'm going to hold it up too. So it's right there.
Got it.
Scan that QR code. You'll find me on LinkedIn. These are our two global award-winning live shows, What's Good Wednesday and Shout Out Saturday. You'll find everything there. And just reach out to me on LinkedIn if you want to connect. Just send a personalized invite that says, saw you on Russ Reals Live and would love to connect. And always love to hear feedback. Just like Fred said, it's incredible when you hear that feedback. Every time I step off a stage around the globe, I never know how it goes. And I always say, so what did you think? And the feedback that you get from people is just, your heart. It's why we do what we do, right, Fred? It's why we all do what we do. And why we have such a love and a passion for what we do. So I'm blessed and humbled and honored to be with the three of you and everyone that's with us in the comments around the world. And
that's fabulous.
And to just be able to be with you guys. Thank you.
I love it. I love it. And I'm just going to say for everybody that's out there, you watch this live, you're in replay. And I say this to myself too. When someone has had an impact in your life, take a moment and let them know about it. It's good for everybody.
Yeah, that's
Fred.
Let me add to what you just said. In Zig Ziglar's office, he has a wall of a whole bunch of 8x10 photographs of people that have helped him throughout his life, have helped motivate him throughout his life, become who he is. He calls it his wall of gratitude. And in doing that, I've made a small one of mine with people from my mom and a couple of teachers and bosses and people, including Zig and Tom and people that have made an impact and helped me along with that life. And what Zig always said would say, when you know those people helped you, call them up, write them a letter, tell them what impact they had on your life. And I guarantee you, some of the people I've reached way back, they said, really? Wow, I didn't know that. It makes them feel so good. And because they were a stepping stone that helped, like you said, Brian, that one word, that one statement you read, and you're a very emotional guy. I love you for that. And I have deep, deep gratitude for your emotion. And that one word that you can share with someone else, it just motivates other people to go out and do so much more in their lives and become so much more instead of being that pile of what you said you could have been. That's empty. Well, so many people think that.
That's right.
So many people have such a bad attitude about themselves. And I've been blessed with that attitude. So, and I don't want to take up any more time there because
tell us how people get a hold of Fred and where to buy your book.
LinkedIn is my super huge tool. That's the main thing. I'm on not any other really social. The band that I used to be in, the 6th Column, is on Facebook and stuff. It's a whole nother world. But LinkedIn is where I do my business at. My books are all on Amazon. And the other part, I use email a lot, and that's FKIENLE@AOL.com. And those two motivations, there you go. I love those glasses, Brian. So, but you guys y'all have fed me. I feel energized again, and so I can go out and energize more people.
Well, this has just been such a remarkable time here with the three of you and with Russ and all of the comments. I just want to say thank you to everybody that's been commenting, that's been sharing, that's going to watch this in replay. This has truly been one of the best Russ Reels that I am aware of because of each one of you. And so thank you for that opportunity. And with that, we're just going to go right into the outro. I don't need to say anything more because all the beauty has been shared here. So thank you to all of you and many blessings.
God bless.
Same to you.
Now I just find the Find the outro button and we're good.
You're good. Right?
We'll just sit here and smile. We'll just
There we go. All right. Blessings. Cheers.
Guys. Bye. Take care, guys.